Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Self-Built TV, where we are assembling the MIG-TIG cart from Eastwood and unboxing the Versa-Cut 60 plasma cutter. When I first started the assembly process, I forgot to press record on the GoPro. So here I'm just going back and showing you that the wheel is simply held on with a cotter key on each end of a straight shaft, and the black caps snap onto the wheel. Alright, so now it's time to assemble the casters onto the base. These are held on with 9/16 bolts, so that'll take a 14mm wrench and socket, or a 9/16 wrench or socket. Pretty easy to do. I use my snap-on 3/8 driver in most of this video that you'll see in the future, but we'll speed it up a little bit every now and again. I use iMovie, so I can only speed it up so fast, but hopefully in the future I will upgrade to a better program. And so if you watch this video and you are a video editor, kind of doing what I'm doing, I first want to say I appreciate you watching. But second of all, I would like to get suggestions on what programs are good. Right now I'm looking at Adobe Premiere Rush as I talk through putting the casters on the front. I really like this cart and how it's assembled. It's all pretty simple. Most of the parts come in a flat box, so everything kind of unpacks real easy, and all the bolts are in a bag. The instructions are handy, but really not necessary once you get the casters bolted on, because the rest of the hardware is the same. Alright, so here we're going to break out the 3/8 impact from Snap-on and get everything tightened up so that the base of the cart can be finally assembled to give us a good platform to build the rest of the cart on. As you can see, socket on the bottom, wrench on the top. Really doesn't matter, either or. Couple ugga-duggas, and the casters are tight. So after checking out the instructions, the next step is putting the backing plate on. The hole in the back is for your cords. And so right there, what I'm showing you is that it has a 90-degree break in it, and the break will face inward, if you will, towards the casters. And so here, I mistakenly laid out all my hardware in that box, and because it has layered cardboard in it, that was a bad idea. So the better idea would be either to A, I guess, leave the hardware in the bag, or B, get it spread out safely in something that's a larger but even container. And so we'll get the bolts started in the backing plate. And I assembled the cart loosely, and you'll see at the end of the video where I go back and tighten everything up once I make sure the cart is square and we know that everything's in the right place. Next, we're going to install the uprights that connect the bottom tier to the next two. It's a rectangular piece with brakes along the vertical edge. This piece has 2 holes that designate the bottom and 6 holes that designate the top. The broken edges will face outward. The 2 holes on the bottom are horizontal, so they can bolt up as shown. And then the next 6 at the top, 2 of them are vertical, followed by 4 horizontal holes. The horizontal holes will hold the next 2 layers of the tier, and then the vertical holes will secure a hook to the side of the cart for hanging your leads. Next is the second tier of the cart. It has 4 broken edges, turning it into a tray, if you will. The back edges bolt into the back wall, and the sides bolt into the uprights. All the nuts and bolts on this cart use a 10mm socket and a 10mm wrench. Here you're going to see that I start assembling the top shelf on the cart, but somewhere down the line some footage got lost between the upload and the edit, I think. It might have been user error, most possibly, just like the lack of lighting, so guys, I apologize for that. It's a learning process for me, and I'm definitely going to do better. But after the transition, you're going to see the cart is fully assembled minus tightening the bolts, and there is some better light from the bay doors being open. It was a nice day. So we got the doors open. I'm going to go through and tighten the bolts. I like everything about this cart. The handle and the bottle rack were easily assembled. Like I said, the whole cart uses the 10mm nut and bolt setup. So I'm planning on setting my TIG welder on top of the cart, and I like the bottle rack, how it has the holes in it. You can use a 1-pound filler rod tube. It'll slide right in those holes, so that's super handy for us TIG welders. I'm wanting to save space. That's what I like about this cart the most. It's a lot better constructed. It's a little bit thicker metal than your Harbor Freight cart, so that's a +1 for Eastwood for sure. You're going to see here, you can't really see it unless you zoom in on the video, but the lead hooks are on there too. And so I'm just going through and bolting everything together good and tight, getting the cart square, and that'll be the end of the cart assembly. It was fairly easy. I'm super pleased with Eastwood's quality. Now to the unboxing of the Versa-Cut 60 from Eastwood. It's packed in there pretty tight. There's not much more box, and you can see that I'm holding the instructions up to my old Silver 4, and it was never on. Again, I forgot to hit record. I was going to do that close-up good unboxing video from that camera, because this one that you're watching this video through is my new Hero 8. And what I'm showing you here is that the first thing you see when you pull the pull the stuff out of the box, they send you a handheld cutting shield. So that's pretty cool for guys just getting into using a plasma cutter. Here I've got the torch lead in my hand. I'm going to take it over to the cart and hang it up. That'll be the first thing that comes out of the box. And there I'm like, oh no. It was not charged. I can't remember exactly what it was. And here it is out of the box. The Eastwood Versa-Cut 60. Get the cord and then the handle. And there it is. I'm super impressed with this machine. Like I said, if you're coming over here from listening to the podcast, if you don't know there's a podcast, yes, I do have a podcast that Anchor hosts right now called the Self-Built Podcast. And I try to tie my podcast to my videos. So there's the Versa-Cut 60. And for some reason I'm still trying to show that Hero 4, this plasma cutter. It's a pretty simple interface. It's about as basic can get. It's a breaker style switch up front. There is an air gauge and then your amperage adjustment. Super simple. I pretty much love it. Alright, now we're going to start getting the torch connected. The first thing is the air line. It's got an 11/16 hex nut on it. So in this video I get it hand tight and then I finish it off with a small crescent wrench, but the actual size is an 11/16. The red wire I have in my hand, it has a little hand knurled knob that you take off of a stud, slide the ring terminal on, and then tighten that up by hand. And then final is the controls. It's just a standard computer-like connection where you plug it in and then tighten the screw up. So it's just super handy getting the torch lead connected to the machine. Alright, finally we're going to put the ground lead on. It's an easy twist lock connection, so that makes getting it finished a breeze. Just like most of the rest of this unboxing and connecting of the Eastwood Versa-Cut 60 as well as the MIG-TIG cart. Next is going to be just some natural voiced video of getting the air setup built for the Versa-Cut 60. Alright, so here's my solution to the air inlet. Because the plasma is going to be on the bottom shelf and I've got a argon bottle that's going to go here because my CK MT200 TIG welder will go atop here. I had all the brass fittings. I know it's a lot, but I didn't have some things and I had some things, but I went to bumper and got a water separator, and went to the hardware store and got a bulkhead and a pipe nipple. They didn't have any brass, so I had to go black pipe. So down the road I'll get me a brass to make all this nice. And I don't like black pipe. I know it works, but I prefer brass when it comes to air. So anyway, it's just about ready to go. I've got
the cart put together, as you can see, and the plasma cutter is all plumbed up, and we're basically going to slide it back down underneath, and we'll start cutting with it.
Here in real time, I'll show y'all how easy the Eastwood Versa-Cut 60 works this skidder wheel. I'm really impressed with the machine and its price. This job seemingly puts zero stress on the Versa-Cut. As you'll see, I start with the vent holes and then I work my way to the middle. So like I said, this is raw video feed, and I appreciate you guys watching.
That's a bad dude. That was a bad dude.
That's crazy. You don't even have to heat it up.
I need that.
Insta-cut.
Crazy fast, man. How hot is that? Hot. Roll it over. Like a really fast torch, like that, huh? That's great. I don't want to roll it that way. Oh, I'm just going to make a couple. I'm going to make a couple. It ain't hurting your wire inside. No, I mean, if it does, it's getting on it. I just didn't know if you want to move it around to the outside. Yeah. Put it right here.
You know when you cut with a 7/8 torch, you get your tone too far, too close?
Yeah.
Is there something here you gotta keep it back so far?
You gotta keep this one close.
I mean, the closer the better? Yeah.
into this sucker.
About 80 some inches around.
I don't know how this thing, we're fine right there. I don't know how this thing's going to react once it's done either. Me either. I think Scott's on to the right idea. But I was wondering what it's going to do. Nice clear over. I can see right through it. Brakes. Man, that ain't gonna be just 3/4 anyway, ain't it? That's double layered steel. That's thicker than I thought it was.
Thanks for watching my video on unboxing the Eastwood MIG TIG cart and the Eastwood Versa-Cut 60 plasma cutter. I hope you can get an idea of what the Versa-Cut is capable of. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Find me on Facebook at Self Built Welding and Fabrication, Instagram at Self Built Fab, and check out my podcast on Anchor, Self Built. Thank y'all for watching.
So you think it was 1/4 inches in both of them?